Martin Collet out of France, Jean-Rolf Skamo-Hope out of Norway, Егор Казаринov out of Russia, Andrei Orlik out of the Ukraine, Thomas Helen Larsen out of Norway, Hugo Lapoulas out of France. And they're off, folks. Sure enough, the gun sounds and 67 athletes, junior champions from around the world, and they're cruising by, and I can feel my hair being blown back. There is some
guys, Pete.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting deal out there, especially when they get to the downhills. You can see a little bit of confusion here as people bump into each other on this first uphill. Some people have check lap.
We saw a lot of double polling happening early on. I imagine part of that, of course, is to separate yourself at least a little bit from that pack, but we'll look to see if that continues. These are tremendous athletes, and we've seen athletes here at Soldier Hollow double pole for an awful long distance, and so we know they work the upper body for moments exactly like this, but this is a long race. 20 kilometers will be skied by the end, so we'll see kind of the different techniques, the different moments they are important. All eyes are turned up to the southwest now to see where our race.
Norwegians are skiing together, Russians are skiing together. Everybody's having a lot of fun.
Sure enough, here come the Norwegians passing by me right now, as well as the athletes out of the Russian Federation. Luka Markun out of Slovenia right there as well.
I remember World Championships with like Oddvar Bro, World Championships 82 at Holmenkollen. And I think it was Alexander Saviolov. That was a really close one. And then at that time was the sprint for the bronze with, I think, Mieto and an East German skier at the time. So we'll see how this thing modulates. This is going to be like reading a book a little bit. You know, you'll expend.
That was a lot of, that was part of the deal.
Yeah, it's a nice shot here. 10 minutes. 35 seconds into the race. Welcome, everyone. So great to have you here.
Great shot.
This is a really lovely shot. It is almost looks like it's shot from a drone or something, but it's just camera up on high. Can press in a little bit and seeing that. You know, if your wax isn't working, one technique is to shorten up the stride. There's 3 Russian skiers now up amongst the leaders. 4? What? No, 3.
It looks like the German skier has joined the party at the front.
You can hear the cheers up on the hill on that transition turn. Now they come down back into the area. The Russians out in front, Norway right behind, and still a good group there. Of course, the German athlete right there in the mix, and still a pretty good lead pack of approximately 12 racers, all within striking distance, and you can see them getting into that low tuck, trying to let that wax do some of the work, and they've got some good skis out there this morning.
Italian has some pretty fast skis there. In fact, fast enough that he's probably going to come out of this in the first position. Russia, Germany.
Quite a sight. Well, so it's strung out around the mountain, but we still have a lot of great work being done by these athletes as they pass through the lap area.
Nice shot. As Matt said, but number, I believe it's 52.
Yeah, Wyatt G.Park has really moved himself up from starting very close to the end up into this lead pack. Really nice skiing by Wyatt. That's really great.
Yes, it is, Pete.
You got to figure, guys, that there's some inspiration from Catherine Ogden's performance. An athlete who has been here many times, skiing for the Intermountain Foundation, Intermountain Zone of the junior set up in the Americas, but he is a fine young man, very, very friendly, and we sure love him here and love his family. Cameron Hussein has had some great races here as well. Team USA looking to factor here. Wyatt g.Park, of course, when last we saw him in a very, very nice position.
I'm guessing that he knows this venue very well, and that Wyatt has been here many times. That may very well be an advantage to him here today.
Speaking of altitude, gentlemen, we're looking up on the hill at the feed area. We just watched a water bottle roll down quite a ways, which I wouldn't normally remark on, but it should give you some idea of the length of the hill and the steepness of the hill that these athletes are having to negotiate. So it's a tough climb to get up to where the feed is, and it's a tough descent as well. Of course, much more of the race to come, and here they come now. Back around into the stadium area. Once again, a Russian athlete out in front with a Norwegian side by side.
Watch how nicely they maneuver that turn. Егор Казаринov, silver medal in the 10K here. He is out in front in the moment. Norwegian is sticking to him there. They're regrouping a little bit here.
So Егор Казаринov out of the Russian Federation leads the Cameron Hussein out of the USA goes by here, and here's Logan Diekman looking strong, and right behind Logan, wearing bib 55, is Henry Rus out of Estonia.
Kasnaryev of Russia, just a slight break. But you watch a lot of good skiing, Pete, and while it is true that they don't give medals for technique, those top skiers.
We're out here in the field of play, and the weather is changing just a bit. It feels like the temperature has come down a little bit colder. Overcast conditions, of course, and we even have seen a couple of snowflakes drift through. Matias Zuluoga out of Argentina now, coming through with teammate Franco Del Fara as they head up for another turn around this challenging 2.5 loop here at Soldier Hollow.
That's some really powerful double pulling, Pete. And quite frankly, he doesn't look like he's cracking whatsoever.
No.
He's a strong guy.
He's a strong guy, but there's still, the other guys are not that far behind, so we got a long way to go here. And we're
so interesting to watch as they come down this stretch into the lap area, some in very, very low tucks, some standing up a little bit, trying to make adjustments for wax and for changing conditions throughout the day. It is indeed the Russian out in front, and he seems to be skiing with authority here, Егор Казаринов. But that's not a big lead, gentlemen. You can see that as well as I. Vladislav Vechkanov right behind as they come into the transition.
Yep, there you go. Quite a few people coming in there now. Let's see if anybody is especially quick. Yep.
Oh,
there's a very quick changeover right there.
Number 15.
Yeah, Vladislav Vechkanov.
A changeover that was, bummer.
That'll cost him something, but that is Vechkanov, Vladislav. But in context, it's not much. Sport with variables, many variables, and that makes that compelling. And there's a lot of things to be watching for out there on the track.
So that group has now consolidated a little bit after the changeover. Not everybody, but a number of skiers have kind of come back together here, and we're now going to find out who the best
at the Junior National Championships for the U.S. and skis out of a very fine program of APU.
One thing that you can see from that downhill is the Italian, number 16, has of that group, he has the fastest skis. And he went up Separation Hill. He's going to probably come into the stadium number 1. He has really, really good skis.
Who has had the best results in sprinting and boogieing, finding that, as they often say, the fifth gear, kind of put it in. That will tell the story. That kind of person doesn't need to be running in first or second place if he's close.
That's correct, and the Italian has decided he doesn't really want to lead anymore, so he's going to follow the Norwegians and the Russians here. And there's also Hugo Lopez is also in the mix from France, so you have a number of different countries headed out skiing together.
Yeah, and I
was 6.3. Del Fabbro out of Italy, 9.7, and they go from there. g.Park was in 9th position here last time through, only 28 seconds back off the leader, and Hunter Wonder is 42.1 in 12th position.
Those two chasers, I think, are going to be joining the pack here as well as the tempo, while steady, is slowing down just a little bit. 34-38 into this race here today. Many changes in the lead still to come. We want to thank USANA, our presenting sponsor, the official multivitamin of the USANA FIS Nordic Junior World Ski Championships. And the National Nordic Ski Foundation supports sport development for cross-country skiing, Nordic combined, and ski jumping across the United States. All proceeds from the webcast will support aspiring athletes as they pursue their dreams. www.nnf.ski, supporting tomorrow's Nordic skiers today.
Well, here they come into the lap area. You can hear the excitement kind of building with the crowd here. The Norwegians excited, of course. They've got a couple in that front group of 7. The next group involves Germany and Italy trying to get back up there in that group. So the Russians around first. It's going to get exciting, even more so as you go around. I believe they have 2 more times around. Here they come, about to pass us by now. That's Vladislav Vechkanov out in front. He's taking the lead for the moment at least. Simone Dapra out of Italy, though, right where he wants to be. We have Andrei Orlik out of the Russian Federation skiing well. Harold Amundsen out of Norway right there, 41.1 seconds back.
Sensational.
It looks like Hunter Wonder is currently holding down the 15th spot as well. So the Americans looking good here. It's a tight race with the Russians and the Norwegians and the Italians right now on the attack. Could definitely have an effect on how those skis are running out there, so we'll keep an eye on that. They do. Here comes the Italian, though, in that mix, and they're going to make their way up around that little horseshoe and back into our area. We'll know kind of how things stand for this last time around.
Leaders here, 43-14 into the race. I mean, they will have known they've run a long race here today, Pete.
They would be some tired puppies at the end of this deal.
Tell it like it is. Running at third, a Norwegian. Running in fourth, another one of the skiers from the Russian Federation. Yeah, that's really good.
Cam Hussein out of the U.S. and Logan Diekman out of the U.S. now passes by. And looks like our race leaders are going to make that turn and give us a show here as we set up for one more time around here, this 2.5-kilometer loop. They've done it 3 times. I believe this is that last one, and here they come. Let's hear it for them, folks. Let's cheer them on and send them through. Vladislav Vechkanov out of the Russian Federation currently out in front with Harald Amundsen out of Norway right behind. Егор Казаринov out of Russia there. And once again, Thomas Larsen out of Norway. So Russia, Norway, Russia, Norway. They've been battling all week.
A lot to be gained wherever he ends up finishing. A lot to be gained by being up there pretty close to the leaders in terms of confidence. Yeah, I've done that before. I can do it again.
I have some unofficial split times here as they pass through here. Amundsen was out in front, of course. Kazarinov just 6.6 seconds back, so a little bit of a lead there, not much, of course. Larsen out of Norway was 8.3. Dapra out of Italy, 12.4. Del Fabro out of Italy, 29.5. Kalivjuk out of Russia, 31.3. And г.Park in, I believe, 7th or high on the Pony Express route. And down at the Horseshoe.
Yeah, this race is going to conclude here in the twinkling of an eye, really. But Peter Ashley, if you're watching the monitor, you can see, like, look at that tempo ramped up there. They're skiing in another gear. Other thing, too, is to avoid traffic from the skiers that have been lapped out there as well. And this should be our top skiers coming in and approaching the finish line.
Here they come. They're checking behind. The Russian athlete looks behind to see what kind of lead he has. It's substantial, but they're coming on fast and strong.
Yeah, and he's turning on the gas there around the Horseshoe. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, he's turning it on into that final stretch. Wyatt г.Park, by the way. He's not too far back as well. Here they come down the final stretch.
Oh, my, and the real battle is maybe not for the top spot, for the second spot.
Right,
and the
you
silver
are.
medal, look at that. The Russian comes in and wins. And now an all-out sprint between countrymen as Norway goes for silver and bronze.
You are right. Thomas Larsen across first, Harald Amundsen across second, and Егор Казаринов crosses the line in fourth position. Fantastic finish by these athletes. Here comes some more down that final stretch. Let's hear it for them, folks. They've just done 20 kilometers, and look how much speed they still have. That's Simone Dapra out of Italy, trying to hold off a late charge by Hugo Lapoulis out of France, and they're now across that line. Tremendous, tremendous physicality.
Oh, he's so happy, the Russian skier there, our winner today. Skied a very good race, and in doing so, showed us about strength and good technique and good skiing.
Kirill Kalivjuk across that platform, about to be joined by teammate out of Norway, Thomas Helland Larsen. An amazing thing to be on the platform at all. To be there with a teammate must be even finer. Our two Norwegians on the bronze and the silver platforms. That leaves one more spot, one more place to fill. Please welcome and congratulate along with me, out of the Russian Federation, Vladislav Vechkanov. Receiving congratulations from Colin Hilton. Ladies and gentlemen, these are they. After a phenomenal race, your champions, Harald Osberg Amundsen, Thomas Helland Larsen, and Vladislav Vechkanov. Gentlemen, you are world champions. Congratulations, gentlemen. Come and speak to the press. They would like to speak with you. You have done something amazing.